Hey, what's happening, guys? This video was supposed to come out Monday. That, unfortunately, was before the proverbial poo hit the fan. And my aunt, my mother's little sister, who I like to call the voice of doom, decided to call me and tell me my mother was having trouble breathing. She wasn't when I was there 6 hours ago, but whatever. So we get my sister, the doctor, to come up and check her out, and they've rolled her off down to the hospital where my sister works, and oh yeah, mom's got COVID. It's like I spent a year trying to keep her safe from this. She doesn't go anywhere, she doesn't see anybody, and she still comes down with it. So sorry I'm late, but we got the video out today. Hey, what's happening, guys? Today, for Monday, let's put together a kit. This one is from HiLetgo, and it was sent to me off my wish list from Justin. So thank you, Justin. Now, just taking a look at this right quick, I see a coil here. I see some transistors. I'm guessing this is some form of a Tesla coil. So let's open her up and see what's inside. So far, I'm just looking at the paperwork, and there seems to be a great deal of it, which is a nice thing. So, 15 to 24 volts in. Yeah, not a lot of information there. Well, there is a lot of information there, but none of it is in English. So, hopefully, this paper contains more of the information in English. Yes. So, mini music Tesla coil plasma speaker production. Right here we can see our circuit. Our transistor is a BD243. So the BD243 is your basic BJT, not a MOSFET in this case. However, we do have a MOSFET up here. All right. Let's take a look at the parts included in the kit. These would have fallen out already. A capacitor, a couple of standoffs, a TRRS cable, hot glue, interesting, some wire, couple of resistors, heat sink, and they did include some thermal grease for our heat sink. Here is our circuit board. Nice, thick, heavy-duty tracks for carrying current. Have a 2.1 barrel jack for our power input. An LED. There's our secondary coil. We have a neon bulb with a resistor wired into it. Interesting. Where's that guy going? Yeah, I realize I must be blind because I don't see it, but oh, there she is, right there. Okay. We have an 1/8 inch jack, another capacitor, There's our MOSFET. And there's our BJT from Fairchild. So, lots of interesting parts. And if you get a real close look here at the circuit board, you can see where they've put extra solder on the tops and the bottoms of the pads. Excellent. So some real thinking has gone into this to allow for some of the higher current things that are going to be going on here in the higher voltage. So very cool. Let's start very simply by identifying our components. So these resistors are 2K. And we'll mark them so we can get the pen to work. 2K. Then we have our second set of resistors here. And these ones are 10K. I really don't like the blue resistors. They're just too hard to read the rings. Okay, this is our MOSFET, which I'm just going to put a little M on it there, and our BJT gets a B. That way I know what's what. Alright, let's look at capacitors. So we know who's who and what's what. This one reading 1 microfarad. And do we have 1 microfarad? Yes, that is C1, I think. It is listed as 16 volts. That's 63 volts. So that one is going to be C2. So I don't know how well you can see that, but I put a 2 on there so I know where they go. Always knowing where your parts go is a pretty good deal. Helps things go a little bit smoother. Now I'm always getting people asking me about this particular circuit board holder. I'll put a link to it down below. They go by a bunch of different names, but they're about 30 bucks and they are available in my store. And yeah, they really make things a lot easier when you're soldering them up. So let's start with some of the resistors. There's a 2K there. I'm starting with resistors because they are the smallest component on the board. So if you have things that are higher around them, getting the small parts down quickly will do you much better. There's the other 2K. Alright, we'll spread out those legs a little bit. We'll get ready to solder. Start by soldering one leg of each resistor. That way we can make sure they're sitting nicely. See, that one needs a little adjustment. There we go. Then we can solder in the other leg. And they'll be sitting nicely and neatly. And we'll go with yes, neatness counts. Alright, let's move on to our 10K resistors. I see one goes right here. And where's the other one go? Right here. Get them guys in there. Keeping the tip of my soldering iron nice and clean. Yep, those are sitting good. Okay. Now, one thing I am noticing here is, like I said, they added extra solder to these pads, and it is definitely no lead solder. I can tell by the way it's soldering up. So it takes a little bit more than we normally play with, but still no big deal. Alright, next up, let's do our capacitors. We got this one going here, C1, and C2 goes over here. Open that one out. For this one, we'll use a little bit of tape to hold her in place. Now you will find many schematics for different versions of Tesla coils. But basically, they all work via the same process. So your Tesla coil works on the principle of electromagnetic induction. Alright, pretty simple. A changing magnetic field within the coil compels current to flow. And flowing current generates a magnetic field. So when the electricity flows through the wound up coil of wire, it generates a magnetic field that fills the area around the coil in a particular pattern, okay? And similarly, if a magnetic field flows through the center of a coiled wire, the voltage is generated in the wire, which again causes current to flow. Remember, potential or voltage is like a hill that pushes the electrons down the hill. And say if you have a coil that has 50 turns on the secondary and you have 1 turn on the primary, well, you're going to generate 50 times the potential. Right? So far, so good. Nothing too hard there, right? Alright, let's assemble our BJT to the heatsink. We'll start off with a little heat sinking compound there. I'll get that on there like so. Then we'll grab our iFixit screwdriver here and try and find the hole. There we are. You put that in somewhat loosely so that we still have a little bit of room to work here. 243 goes on this side. Like so. A little bit of tape to hold them in place there. And we'll get these soldered up. Very good. This one's going to take a bit more because we're trying to solder onto the heat sink there. Make sure we got a good connection. Yep. Okay, we'll grab this one. One of the nice features about the KSGER soldering station here is I can just give this nice knob here a little turn and that'll boost it up 50 degrees temporarily, which will allow me to come in here and solder this big heat sinking joint a lot easier. Then we can come back in, grab this guy here, and it looks like we got 3 solid joints. Bite them off. And now we can come back and tighten that guy up to make sure we have a good solid connection. Now I'll do the same thing for the other one, the MOSFET. Alright, let's get him in there. Excellent. Yeah, I'm doing the heatsink first on this one. No real reason. Just figured I would. We'll get these guys done. Yep, they look good. And while we're here, we might as well put in the standoffs. No real reason to do it now as opposed to later, just I'm here and I'm thinking about it, so why the heck not? I like the feel of this iFixit screwdriver. This billet is very nice. Very nice indeed. So it's Labor Day weekend, and here in the Gem City, we have our annual Festival of the Arts, where we have all sorts of crafty type vendors come in, and different organizations make food, and there's music all weekend. Well, of course, we didn't have it last year because of the Rona. And this year is kind of hit and miss as it is. So they didn't hire any musical acts, which, I understand they didn't know what we were going to get, as far as safety-wise. And my church normally is a huge player in this thing, because the church is located right in the center of town, and they set up their stage and everything right in the middle of our parking lot. So we usually use our basement, our church hall, cook food, and actually it's only one of the few bathrooms that are available. Well, we've been going back and forth, do we want people in the church hall and all this stuff. So they decided they're going to pare down our menu a little bit. We normally serve like 5 or 6 different things. They're going to pare it down to just a couple of things. And they are going to open the church basement. And then tomorrow on Sunday, we're supposed to have our services outdoors. But nobody's quite sure what's going on, whether or not we're going to have sound for the outdoor service, because normally they end up hiring this company called Ohio Valley Sound. Whoopsies. Hang on. So just today, and mind you, the festival is going on. It started at noon today. Just today, I find out we are not going to have sound. So I will be taking my PA system and setting it up over there, because it's less a pain in the butt to do that than to pull the sound system out of the church and run it over there. Because that one's all, everything's in place and it's all done up right and all that good kind of stuff, so just easier. Alright, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Only a couple of components left. We've got the red LED here. And the clear LED here. Yeah. Let's see if we can't get those guys soldered in. everything nicely, neatly. I am growing more confused about that neon bulb because I can't make out exactly what I'm supposed to do with it. So let's bite those legs off of here. Let's have a look. I'm looking. Can't see an LED there. There's our sound. There's where the voltage comes in. There's our coil. I don't see the neon bulb. I see resistors, R1, 3, 5, LED 1, LED 2, 2 capacitors, a jumper, there's our 2 transistors, well, 1 transistor, 1 MOSFET, our coil, and it just, I don't see it. Radio transmitted. Red LED light is not bright, no arc. Red lamp, polar mount, reverse damage, secondary, blah, blah, blah. Red and blue 2 LEDs are bright, no arc generation. Neon induction is not bright. I don't know. Okay, so now we've got this, which goes here. And then we have our length of wire, which goes here. So let's strip them. Give them a nice little twist. Nah. Should have known. Should have known. Try that again. Did we get it? No, not really. Oh, right out. About now. Now did we get it? Yeah. All right, we'll put our twister in there. Hold that guy there. Okay. So that leaves us with our coil. All right. There she blows. The instructions with this are pretty good for a Chinese kit, but there is much more information that is given on these Chinese documents, like this one in particular here, that says secondary coil interface. That's good information to have. But we got it going. Now, I'm not hooked up through the power jack. No, I am, with a couple of clips from the power supply. So we'll power it up, and we should get two LEDs, a red one and a blue one, which we do. I have here a fluorescent light bulb, which you can see lights quite nicely. So I enjoy this. You guys know I like Tesla coils. This has been fun. Somewhere on my desk or in the near vicinity, I've got a neon bulb. I was going to use it to demonstrate. Now I can't find it. It's probably because I'm so flustered. But, if you see a neon bulb, it's actually got a resistor soldered to one of the legs. Give me a yell, let me know. But yes, sirree. Out there's another Tesla coil. They're fun. Alright, thanks guys for watching. And thanks again to Justin for sending this out. I truly enjoyed it, and it was a wonderful distraction. That's it. I'm out. Peace.